everybody. What's up? I'm Pete Thorn. So, I've been using the two-note stuff for a number of years now, and let me see. First tour I did was 2013. I had with it. I was doing a French tour with an artist named Hélène Farmer, and I took out two PT100s and I used them into Torpedo Lives, and that was my rig. I actually had no cabs. And it was beautiful because I just loaded up my favorite impulse responses, into there, and then I could do no cabinets. I was using in-ears that tour. It's kind of a crazy tour. We were on like stage with a lot moving risers and stuff, and I was like 30 feet off the ground sometimes. Hey, what's up, Alex? And so it was worked out really well. It was one of those tours where they didn't want a lot of cabinets or any sound on stage, actually, and there was dancers and stuff because it was like a pop tour, right? So it worked beautifully. I was able to have my heads and stuff and get great tone in my in-ears. Same sound every night with those terrific, it was actually an impulse response I had made myself in my own studio. So I got to kind of take the sound of my studio on the road with me. So anyway, that was my introduction to the Two Notes products, and it worked so well, I just loved it. So I just did another French tour with a different French artist this whole last year, and I actually, I used a real cab on stage, but it wasn't mic'd. I was just using it for like feedback and stuff and to be able to hear the cabinet on stage. And it was real easy. I just used the Torpedo Lives and ran the through jacks on the back through to the cabinet. Makes it really simple. So you can use speakers with this, but the sound in the PA every night was my impulse responses. Now, one of the amazing things, what I want this to be about right now isn't me showing you a bunch of guitar licks or anything like that. I want it to be about the value that I see in this thing and how cool this is. This is one of the only load boxes on the market that you can do. I can't think of another one, actually. It's MIDI switchable, okay? So what you can do is when I go from channel 1 to channel 2 to channel 3 on my amp, I can also load up impulse responses, cabinet models, essentially, of 3 different super complementary speaker cabinets. And that's amazing because it's like you've got 3 of your favorite amps with 3 really, like imagine having a rig with, say, an AC30 and then, a 50-watt Marshall amp or something, and then a diesel or something for your, so you can switch with all the appropriate cabinets. It's like you can't carry all that in the back of your car, but you can carry a head with one of these and have those sounds. It's amazing. So, right now on the clean channel, I got loaded up a 212 cabinet of, I think it's like an AC30 style cabinet. So it's an open back. And it really has that like beautiful, I'm not sure how well you guys can hear. I know it's hard to hear at NAMM, but it's got that beautiful kind of like air and stuff to it that a 212 cabinet, that open back, Celestian blues, that kind of sound. Just that great sound. I can hit the boost on my amp. And it's that instant kind of almost like, Tom Petty or something. It's just that sound, which I love. So basically I've got the sound of a great kind of open back combo happening on channel 1. Now when I go to channel 2, so that is a closed back with greenbacks, okay? So it's a completely different sound. I love it. I'm just able to switch between beautiful open back 212 with that authority that you want to get, out of a closed back cabinet for like a dirty rhythm sound. On channel 3, I'm now switching to a V30 cabinet, and now I'm forgetting the name. They told me the name of the guy that made this impulse response, but so this has now got a little bit more of that V30 cabinet. Once you contrast that with channel 2, that's got a little bit of that warmer kind of like almost woody quality to it that greenbacks have. But V30s, not always my favorite speakers for rhythm, but they sound really cutting and cool when you're trying to cut through the mix for leads. You can just here, the guitar, even at low volume, it kind of wants to almost take back, feedback is what I'm trying to say. Maybe not so much with the greenbacks. So you're able to totally tailor the sound of the speaker, to the sound of your amplifier and get 3 completely different sounds. So this is kind of what, incidentally, a little plug for my amp. We were trying to design an amp that would kind of be all things to all people, like, the ultimate American-style clean on one side, and then this great British drive on the other side, and also incorporate a killer boost that can be used in front of the amp. So that you don't necessarily need to take pedals to the gig. So with the combination of having this and then the ability to do this stuff with the speaker cabinet modeling, to me, is like, wow, it's amazing, And you can fit it all in the front seat of your car. Actually, you don't need to bring anything else. So it's something maybe a lot of people didn't consider about this device is the MIDI capabilities it has and the ability to switch speaker cabinets on the fly live with your rig. So that's mainly what I wanted to show you guys today, is just kind of the value of that, how cool that is. That's it. Anybody got any questions about it or how I've used it or anything like that? Feel free to come up and talk to me and ask me, because I've got a lot of experience using it live now, a couple of years of touring. Effects? Okay, well, so that's a really good question. You could come out of your, he's asked me how I incorporate effects with it. Let's say you didn't want to use cabinets live, right? You can actually come out of the line out of the load box and go into your effects after that. That's one way to do it, which is really cool. So if you want to run like some stereo delay, get some reverb going and stuff like that, yeah, you just run that between the output of the load box and the sends that are going to the PA, you want to patch it in right there, and then you're kind of doing it. If you can even incorporate that with a mixer if you want to, which is some people do that. Like for example, John Shanks is my buddy. He's out with Bon Jovi playing right now. He does a thing where he mics his cabinets, but then he takes that mic signal and he runs it out through effects. And that's what the house gets. They've got all his effects and everything, but basically he gives out, here's your stereo line out signal, right? And he's running it post microphone. Well, this is the same concept. You could run it post load box through your delay, through your reverb and all that stuff. Just got a stereo line out you send to the house with all your effects blended and all that stuff. So that's a good way to do it. Yeah. I love it though. It's so cool to me to just be able to... It's great because you're kind of modeling the back end of your rig. We love guitar amps, we love tubes and all that stuff. A lot of people just do not want to give that up, right? I mean, you guys know I use some of the modeling stuff and all that out there too. I love it, it's useful, but come on, I got my own signature guitar amp and I love guitar amps. So it's like, we love tubes, we love amps, but it's not always practical. Certainly not practical to bring 2 412s and an open back 212 to most gigs. But with this, you can do it, and you can do it in the front seat of your Honda Civic, like I say. So yeah, it's pretty cool to be able to get all that tone in such a small package. So thanks 2 Notes for making this stuff, because it's really cool. They were really the first company that opened my eyes to load boxes and the value of all this stuff. And I jumped on it and started using it live and really got into it, and it's cool. This stuff is amazing too, by the way. I don't know if you guys have checked out, but they've got a line of preamp pedals, and then they've of course got their Torpedo cab pedal. So with this, you don't even need an amp. I love my amp, but with this you can basically the preamp pedals, like they've got the La Bass pedal here, but they've also got La Clean and La Crunch. You can have one of those and incorporate it with the Torpedo cab and have an entirely pedal board based setup. So it's just great tools for gigging musicians. Yeah. In this time of increased excess baggage fees and all that kind of stuff, it's really cool to have options for small portable rigs, I think. So yeah. Anyway, if you guys want to ask me about how I use any of this stuff, feel free to come up and chat and stuff. Please. Thank you.